Let's talk about your hometown. Could you tell me a bit about where you grew up?
I grew up in a coastal town which is quite well known for its vibrant seafood markets. It was a really tranquil place to spend my childhood, always surrounded by some beautiful, stunning, and scenic views.
What do you like most about living in that area?
I'd say it's the unique sense of community there. People are incredibly welcoming, and there's a perfect balance between the serene coastal atmosphere and the vibrant, bustling energy of the local seafood markets every day.
Now, let's talk about your hobbies. What do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
I'm quite passionate about landscape photography, especially during the golden hour. I find it incredibly rewarding to capture the natural beauty of the coastline, as it provides a perfect serene way to unwind and relax.
Do you prefer spending your free time alone or with other people?
Actually, it really depends on my mood. While I treasure my solitude to recharge, I also find socializing with close friends incredibly refreshing. Ultimately, I think it's all about finding a healthy balance between the two.
Is there a new hobby or skill you would like to learn in the future?
I'm quite keen on learning how to cook authentic Thai cuisine. I really love the complexity of the flavors, and I think it would be a fantastic way to unwind after a very long day.
Describe a traditional celebration or festival in your country. You should say what it is when it is celebrated, what people do during the festival, and explain why it is important to your culture.
Actually, moving on to traditional celebrations, one of the most iconic and vibrant festivals in my country, Thailand, is Songkran, which marks the traditional Thai New Year. It usually takes place in mid-April, a time when the weather is notoriously hot, which actually explains why water plays such a central role in the festivities. During Songkran, the atmosphere is absolutely electric. On the streets, you see massive citywide water fights where people of all ages use buckets and water guns to douse each other, which is a bit of a chaotic but incredibly joyous way to stay cool and have some fun. However, it's not just about the splashing. On a more personal and spiritual level, many people visit local temples to make merit, offer food to monks, and participate in traditional ceremonies. A very touching and significant custom is pouring scented water over the hands of elders as a sign of respect and to ask for their blessings for the year ahead. I believe Songkran is incredibly important to our culture because it represents a complete spiritual renewal. It's a time for people to symbolically wash away the misfortunes and bad luck of the past year and start fresh with a clean slate. Moreover, it fosters a profound sense of community and family unity, as many people travel long distances back to their hometowns to reunite with their loved ones. It's a beautiful blend of ancient religious traditions and modern-day celebration, ensuring that our cultural heritage remains alive and thriving in the present day.
Does this festival bring people together from different regions of the country?
Absolutely. It serves as a powerful unifying force, drawing people from across the nation to celebrate together in their home regions.
How have traditional celebrations in your country changed over the last few decades?
Well, I'd say there's been a significant shift towards commercialization over the last few decades. In the past, these celebrations were far more community-driven and intimate, but nowadays, they're often sponsored by large corporations, resulting in much bigger, more organized spectacles. Additionally, the influence of globalization means that while the core traditions remain, the way we celebrate is often influenced by international trends, making the festivals a blend of the old and the new.
Do you think it's important for the younger generation to participate in these traditions?
I absolutely believe it's crucial. In our increasingly globalized world, these traditions provide a vital sense of identity and cultural continuity. They offer the younger generation a tangible way to connect with their roots and understand the history that shaped their community. While the specific methods of celebration might evolve over time, the underlying values often remain constant, and by actively participating, the youth ensure these unique cultural nuances aren't lost or completely homogenized by modern trends.
In what ways does globalization influence the way people celebrate their cultural heritage?
I'd say it's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, globalization facilitates a fascinating cross-pollination of ideas, allowing people to share their unique traditions with a global audience, which can actually revitalize interest in local customs. However, there is also a real risk of commercialization. Sometimes the original spiritual or community-based significance of a festival can get overshadowed by profit-driven marketing or a tendency to conform to more mainstream, international standards.
Should governments invest money in preserving traditional festivals and cultural heritage?
I certainly believe it's imperative for governments to provide cultural subsidies for these traditions because they serve as a foundational element of a community's identity. In our increasingly globalized world, these distinctive cultural markers provide a necessary sense of belonging. Furthermore, while there's a very significant economic benefit to cultural tourism, the primary goal should be safeguarding authenticity. If the state doesn't intervene, many unique customs risk being eroded by the tide of cultural homogenization.
Do you believe that some old traditions are no longer relevant in modern society?
That's a nuanced question, but I'd argue that relevance depends largely on whether a tradition still serves a meaningful social function. While certain specific rituals might seem somewhat anachronistic in our fast-paced, tech-driven world, many remain vital because they provide a sense of cultural continuity and social cohesion. For a tradition to stay pertinent, it doesn't necessarily need to be completely overhauled, but it often needs to adapt its outward expression to resonate with contemporary values.